Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How are you, my students? I hope that you're happy and healthy and ready for today's lesson, which is Unit 3, Form, Meaning and Function. But before we do that, let's just revise step by step what we took previously in our writing lesson, especially the writing corner. Let's read it again because it's extremely important. Let's revise it here. When you write a descriptive essay, when you write a descriptive essay, so you want to write an essay, but you want to describe something in an essay to be thorough, to be specific. How do you write a descriptive essay? So these are some pointers for you. Number one, to brainstorm about the topic and write down as many notes as you can about your memories and impressions of the house or of the place. So brainstorm to get as many ideas as you can, and don't forget also to write them all on a paper. Again, brainstorm about the topic and write down as many ideas or as many notes as you can about your memories and impressions of the house or of the place. Number two, make an outline of your essay and decide what each paragraph or section is going to focus on. So you make an outline, then you decide what each part of the article will be talking about. So you have to organize yourself, to organize your article, organize your ideas, so you can have the perfect essay. Again, make an outline of your essay and decide. So you have to decide what each paragraph is going to focus on. What's the topic of each paragraph? Include factual information. So you have to have facts, like for example size, number of rooms, and etc. Also feelings and impressions. So you have to give facts and also you have to give feelings and impressions of what you the impressions that you have when you describe this house, that you are amazed or something like that. Visualize the place. So when you write your article, visualize it. Try to remember how did it look like. Try to visualize it as you can see it right in front of you. Why do you have to visualize it? Visualize the place you want to write about, so you can help your reader visualize it too. So when you visualize it, maybe you will have the words, the description, to make the reader also can see it and visualize it just as you do. Use different senses. Try also use different senses, as in a sense of sight, feeling, smell, sound, and taste, to make it more vivid, to make your writing more clear. Try to depend on senses. What you hear when you describe this house, what you hear, what you smell, what you see, or what you feel, what you touch. Once you are describing, or once you are at this house, what can you feel, what can you see, what can you smell, and so on. So you can make the image, the writing, more vivid and more clear for the reader. Remember that smell is usually the most vivid and best retained memory. So the best retained and the best memory that gives a vivid image is the smell. Think of the first and last thing or things you see. The first and last things that you can see, hear, feel, or smell, or almost taste. Almost taste. So you can smell it until you almost taste it when you are there. So all of these will give you hopefully the perfect article to be descriptive about something. So these are today's objectives for the form, meaning, and function. So we'll be talking about directions. Directions, how to go to places. Ask for directions, describe a direction, ask for repeating information, apply can and will in requests, apply will in offers and promises, answer a question, and check for understanding. So the first part of the lesson here, words connected with asking for, understanding, and giving directions. So words that are related for asking for directions, understanding directions, and even giving directions. So these are all words related to directions. Some words and phrases we commonly use when asking for and giving directions are, you can see the chart here, when you ask for direction, you can use these sentences. Excuse me, I'm looking for. The second sentence here. The first one here, excuse me, I'm looking for. Then you can say what you are looking for. Excuse me, I'm looking for the bank. Excuse me, I'm looking for a hotel. So that this man will provide the directions for you. So this is how to ask for a direction. Excuse me, I'm looking for the bank, for example. The second one, could you tell me where is? Could you tell me where the bank is, for example? Could you tell me where the bank is? Could you tell me where the house is, the school is, and so on. So is the final word here. The third sentence, can you tell me how to get there? Can you tell me how to get there? For example, when you ask someone, do you know where the bank is? Maybe he'll say yes. Can you tell me how to get there? So then he will give you the directions. Am I headed in the right direction for the bank, for example? So, am I headed for the correct direction for the bank? Maybe yes, maybe no. So, all of these sentences is asking for directions. Giving directions here, so when you want to give direction, when someone is asking you about directions, here are some of these words will help you give directions. Turn left or right. Of course, you can say turn left or turn right, or even take a left or take a right. Take the first, second left. So you can say go straight, then take the second left or the third left, and so on. The second right. So not the first one, the second one. So you can say take the first or second left or right. Or you can say go straight for a few miles. Go straight for a few miles. So it's far away. Go straight for a few miles. Keep going until you see. So maybe the bank is next to a mosque. So you can say you can tell him keep going until you see a mosque. So keep going until you see something, a landmark which is next to the bank, for example. Keep going until you see a mosque, and so on. When you get to, you will see. When you get to a place here, you will see something. For example, when you say, when you get to the junction, you will see the bank. When you get to the mosque, you will see the bank. So when you get to something, you will see what you are looking for. The last one, if you see, you've gone too far. If you see, you've gone too far. For example, if you see a garden, you've gone too far. The bank is behind you. You skipped the bank. For example, like that. When you say, if you see a garden, you've gone too far. You missed the bank. So all of these are directions, as you can see here in these images here. So this is take a right or go right or turn right. And this one, of course, is the symbol for turning left. Understanding directions and asking someone to repeat something. So once you understand the direction and you ask someone to repeat something. Asking someone to repeat something. Can or could you repeat that, please? So when you're asking for a direction and just you want to check again, you say, can you repeat that, please? Could you repeat that, please? Then he will give you the directions again. Would you or could you say that again? What did you say about the mosque? For example, that the bank is next to the mosque. You can say, what did you say about the mosque? The bank is next to the mosque. For example, excuse me, but I didn't catch the last part or the part about. For example, you can say, excuse me, I didn't catch the last part, the last thing you said. Or you can say, I didn't catch the part about the mosque. Once you started talking about the mosque, I didn't understand, I didn't hear you well, and so on. Can you repeat what you said about the mosque or the last part? I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. I didn't understand, or I didn't hear what you said. Would you mind repeating that? So all of these is asking, politely of course, asking someone to repeat something, to repeat that, the direction that he gave you. Exercise A, Fahad and Faisal are driving to a friend's home. Read the conversation, complete the gaps with a word or phrase from the charts above. Fahad, I don't know why Google Maps can't find Al Nadwa Street. I think we'd better stop and ask for directions. There's a gas station. Let's pull over and ask someone. Faisal, oh, all right. Attendant, you look lost. Fahad, you can say that again. Number one is already done for you. We're looking for Al Nadwa Street. Attendant, I know this town like the back of my hand, and I can tell you that there's no street by that name. Do you mean Al Safarat Road? Faisal, oh yeah, that must be it. I just got the street name wrong. Fahad, so number two is, yes, can you tell us how to get there? Can you tell us how to get there? Attendant, it's not far. You need to out of here. You need to out of here. So number three is, let's see the answer here. You need to turn left out of here. Then number four, for a couple of miles. Then for a couple of miles. So number four is, yes, then go straight for a couple of miles. Keep going, an ice cream shop. Keep going. Number five, an ice cream shop. So number five is, yes, until you see. So keep going straight until you see an ice cream shop. If you see the town hall, number six is what? You've gone too far. If you see the town hall, you've gone too far. You have to, of course, get back. Number seven here, after the ice cream shop, and you'll be on Al Safarat Road. So number seven is, yes, take the second right, or you can say second left, of course, after the ice cream shop, and you'll be on Al Safarat Road. Faisal and Fa'ad, of course, they're thanking him. Thanks. Exercise B here, role play with a partner. Imagine you are standing outside your school and it is very crowded and also noisy. Ask your partner how to get to his or her home or some other destination from school. Your partner will give you directions. Ask your partner to repeat something. Use phrases from the charts above. So imagine that you are at your school and you want to get to a place, maybe your house, maybe other place, and try to get your partner to give you directions for that place using all what we have studied today. Go right, go left, go straight. If you see the town hall, if you see the bank, you've gone too far, and so on. Or maybe, as the previous exercise, you can use one of the navigation apps, of course, and you can see all the directions, and you can see them, and even you can read them on your phone's screen. So role play and exercise B with your partner. Continuing here, expressing requests, offers, promises, warnings, and spontaneous decisions. Again, expressing requests, offers, promises, warnings, and spontaneous decisions. Spontaneous decisions are the decisions that you made at that second. Spontaneous decisions are the decisions that you made at that second while you are standing there. Use can and will for requests. So use can and will for requests. If you want to request, will you or can you help me? Use will for offers and promises. We also use will for offers and also promises. Let's read these examples. Can you tell me where you live? Can you tell me where you live? So this is a request using can. Sure, I'll draw you a map. Sure, I'll draw you a map. Will you drive me home? This is also a request using will here. Will you drive me home? Sorry, I can't. I have an appointment. So you can use and will for request, and also use will for offers and promises. So sure, I'll draw you a map. This is an offer that you are offering him to draw a map. Or you can say, if someone invites you to his house, sure, I will come. When you say I will come, this is a promise. We use will for spontaneous decisions. Now the children have left for college. This house is too big for us. I know, we'll downsize into an apartment. So this is a spontaneous decision, a decision that was made at that second without any planning. The children have left the house for college. The house is too big for us. I know, we'll downsize into an apartment. So will for a decision that was made without planning and was thought about at that exact moment. The future with dependent time clauses: when, before, after, while, until. The future with dependent time clauses: when, before, after, while, and until. We can talk about a future event at a time clause with when, before, after, while, and until. A present tense verb a present tense verb form, not a future form, is used in the time clause, and will is used in the main clause. Again, we can talk about a future event using a time clause with when, before, after, while, and until. A present tense verb form, not a future form. A present tense verb form, again, not a future form, is used in the time clause. Used in the time clause. And will is used in the main clause. So the time clause, we use the present tense form, and will is used in the main clause. Let's see some examples here. Don't worry, I'll take care of the children until you get back. So until you get back, this is the time clause. We used here a present tense verb form. So get here is the present tense verb, and you can see here in the main clause will. I'll take care of the children until you get back. When he finishes work, he'll go straight home. When he finishes work, he'll go straight home. So we have two clauses here, a time clause and a main clause. And will goes with the main clause here. He'll go straight to home. And the time clause uses the present form of the verb. When he finishes work, this is the time clause. The main clause, he'll go straight to home. So the time clause answers the question when. When will he go straight to home? When he finishes work. The third example here, I'll help him with his homework while you wash the dishes. While you wash the dishes, this is the, of course, this is the main clause, the time clause and the main clause. I'll help him with his homework. As soon as it stops raining, we'll leave. As soon as it stops raining, this is the time clause. The main clause, we will leave. The last one, Dad will call Mom at home before we set off on our return journey. Dad will call Mom at home when? What's the time clause here? When? Before we set off on our return journey. So this is the dependent time clauses. Exercise C here, put the verbs in the parenthesis in either the future tense, will, or the present tense. The first one is already done here. I'll call you as soon as I get home. I'll call you as soon as I get home. Number one, the company manufacture the parts when they receive the order. So here we have two verbs, manufacture and receive. Which one do we use will with? Which one do we use the present form of the verb with? Which one is the main clause and which one is the time clause? This is the real question here. So the company, yes, will manufacture the parts when they, yes, use the same verb when they receive the order. Very good. Number two, he travel the world before he get married and settles down. So let's see the answers here. He will travel the world. This is the main clause and the time clause before he gets married. Yes, gets with an S, married and settles down. Very good. Number three, I run to the store before it starts raining. I run to the store before it starts raining. The main clause and the time clause. So I will run or I run to the store before it starts raining. Very good. When you drive down the road, you see a large red building. So, yes, when you drive, present form here, down the road, you, very good, will see a large red building. Number five, yes, number five, will you continue to argue with me until I change my mind? So we began with will here because it's a question. Will you continue to argue with me until I change my mind? Very good. So five, we began with will because it's a question here. Will you continue to argue with me until, the time clause here, until I change my mind? Exercise D here, read the conversation and write an appropriate ending using will. Compare with a partner. So we'll just give all of this conversation and ending using will. So let's read the conversation between Umar and Sultan. Sultan, will you do me a favor? Sure. What do you want me to do? If Fahad calls, tell him I'm not home. He always asks me to help him with the homework. Sultan, okay, no problem. So Fahad calls, hello, this is Fahad. Can I speak to Umar? Hi Fahad, my brother's not here. Did you try his cell phone? Yes, I did, but there's no answer. So Sultan is asking him here, can I take a message? So Sultan is his brother. Fahad, yes, please tell him I have free tickets for the football game tonight. Please tell him I have free tickets for the football game tonight. So he's calling not to ask for help for homework. No, he wants to pay him back. He is offering free tickets for the game. So what will Sultan's reply be? And remember, use will. Of course, you can answer as you like. For example, I have read. Also, remember, we use will at the end because Sultan must make an on-the-spot decision. We use will here because it's a spontaneous decision that was made on the spot. So what will Sultan reply be? For example, I've written, okay, I'll tell him. Okay, I'll tell him. Maybe he'll tell him. Maybe he'll say, okay, I will go, and so on. And with that, we reach the end of this lesson. See you next lesson, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum.